Now to one of the sharpest legal minds I know. Sara Azari is a criminal defense attorney, a NewsNation legal analyst, and host of NewsNation's YouTube show, Serving Justice. What are his lawyers telling him, Sara, right now?
Ashleigh, I think at this point, it's more about gathering information from the client. I know that some of his devices were taken. You just had a conversation with Matt Murphy. And I would want to know what's on there. What could possibly the LAPD be investigating? Because, as you know, at this early stage, there's no discovery. The LAPD doesn't give us much information. And I think Matt gave LAPD and the coroner's office way too much credit than is due. I've worked with the LAPD for 25 years, and I can tell you there's a lot of flaws in some of these investigations, for good or bad, and even the coroner's office. I've had them do autopsies on the wrong body, give me reports for the wrong body, So hopefully this is being done properly, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Let me ask you to put on your defense hat, and you're retained as one of David's attorneys. Are you advising him to cooperate with the police? Are you advising him to stop all meetings and communications altogether? What do you say?
Well, it's interesting because we've heard that he's cooperating with LAPD. I don't exactly know what that means, cooperating through his lawyers. That's one thing. But I certainly would not have him sit there with case detectives and answer questions. He certainly, even though we don't know the evidence or the extent of the evidence, he certainly carries some exposure here. He's not a suspect, but he's being looked at. He's a person of interest. So my concern would be, there's no good that's going to come out of putting my client, in front of the LAPD to answer their questions, fill in the blanks. So I don't know what cooperation means. Is it that the lawyers are speaking to detectives? I certainly would keep it minimal. And you brought up another good point, Ashleigh, about not saying anything in media. When you have a celebrity client, you are defending them in the court of public opinion, because the minute their name comes up in a situation like this, their career is pretty much over, whether or not they're eventually charged. You're also defending the charges, obviously, legally. But here my concern is, the defendant should not be saying anything, or the potential defendant should not be saying a word. So as much as we want to hear from a higher profile person, at least denying having anything to do with this, there's also the concern of, what they might say that could be used against them. I think if there's a statement made, it should come from his lawyers, and it should be very generic.
Yeah, because honestly, what else is playing all over the news and all over the internet? What we're talking about, and it isn't good. It sounds terrible. All of the speculation, everybody who's trying to solve the crime, theorize what happened to Celeste. Was she pregnant? Was it an overdose? Was it a murder? Was it an accident? All these things are just being, batted about like, Pong in the 80s. So if you're also advising him at this point, and there is the real concern that there is a wrongful death, maybe even a murder, certainly a dismemberment, and an indignation offered to human corpse. There's all sorts of wording for those charges.
Right.
Are you focusing on that right away, or are you simultaneously and equally as aggressively focusing on, you got some problems because this girl was maybe 11 when you met? How are you preparing this client for the reality that is what could be the worst thing he's facing?
Preparing the client as client management, and we do that from the get-go, but the idea of trying to formulate a defense or trying to figure out what charges might be if and when they come is very difficult at this stage. Hopefully the client's being honest, and telling his lawyers what part he's had, what kind of relationship he's had. But ultimately, how we defend the case depends on what the evidence is, obviously what the charges are. But, do they have digital evidence? Do they have a bunch of snitches flipping? Do they have, videos, like Matt said, showing a sexual relationship, or something that shows more than just a odd connection between an older teen and a younger teen. It really depends on what the evidence is. So I think it's very early. And as much as it's so challenging with a high-profile client, because you're going to have to do damage control and brand damage control and all of that, the main problem here, the main concern should be his liberty, which is the criminal exposure that he carries.
Yeah, that's big, right? Because who cares about your brand if you're stuck in prison? You can just ask Diddy about that, right? Hey, Sara, I want to have you back because I have lots more questions for you, but I'm fitting it all in tonight. Thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Of course, good to see you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.